The frontier outpost drifted quietly at the edge of known space, far from trade routes and politics. It was a place most people avoided. Old metal walls creaked as they adjusted to temperature shifts, and dim lights hummed through narrow corridors. This station was not important anymore, only useful for repairs and monitoring empty space. Aaron Cole had been assigned there for one simple reason. Humans were known to handle isolation better than most species. Aaron moved slowly along the maintenance corridor, carrying a small tool case. He was not a soldier anymore, not officially. He had traded armor for work, gloves, and weapons for repair tools. He liked it that way. Silence gave him time to think. And this place had plenty of silence. The alarm came without warning. It was not loud at first, only a low tone that spread through the station like a whisper of trouble. Aaron stopped walking and looked at the ceiling lights as they flickered from white to amber. Unauthorized movement detected, the system announced calmly. Aaron sighed. Of course, he muttered. He tapped his wrist console and brought up the security feed. The image was unclear at first, just shadows near the power conduits on the lower deck. Then the camera adjusted. Something small moved between cables. Aaron leaned closer. That's not a drone. The shape was thin, crouched low, almost trying to disappear into the wall. Large eyes reflected the light for just a moment, before vanishing again. An alien child. No, not a child. Aaron corrected himself. Young, maybe. Hard to tell with alien species. Security officers were already reacting. On another screen, he saw two guards freeze in place as soon as the scanner labeled the intruder. Species. Kavari. Threat assessment. Extreme. Aaron felt the mood of the station shift instantly. He had heard of the Kavari. Everyone had. Stories traveled faster than facts. People said they were born dangerous, that their bodies produced unstable energy, that they could destroy things without meaning to. The guards hesitated, hands hovering near their gear, fear clear even through the poor video feed. Command wants eyes on the target, came a tense voice through Aaron's comm. You're closest. Command wants eyes on the target. Command wants eyes on the target. Aaron considered that for a second. He could refuse. Others would handle it. They would bring restraints, maybe worse. Instead, he closed the security feed and started walking toward the lower deck. I'm going to talk, he said calmly. There was a pause. Talk? Cole. I know what it is, Aaron replied. No one argued after that. Humans had a reputation too. The lower deck smelled of warm metal and coolant. Aaron slowed his steps as he approached the power conduits. He made sure his hands were visible and empty. I'm not security, he said aloud, keeping his voice steady. I fix broken things. There was no answer. He stopped several meters away from the cables and sat down on the floor, tool case beside him. He did not stare. He waited. Minutes passed. Then a soft sound came from the shadows. A sharp inhale, like someone trying not to be heard. I can see you, Aaron said gently. But I won't come closer unless you want me to. Silence again, then movement. The alien girl stepped into the light slowly, as if expecting pain. She was smaller than Aaron expected, thin arms wrapped around herself. Her skin shimmered faintly, not glowing, but alive with quiet energy. Her eyes were large, dark, and filled with fear. She looked nothing like the monsters from the stories. Aaron felt something tighten in his chest. You shouldn't be here, she said. Her voice shook, but her words were clear. They will hurt me. No, Aaron said without hesitation. They won't. Not while I'm here. She studied him closely, clearly confused by his calm. The energy around her flickered, reacting to her emotions. Aaron stayed seated. I won't hurt you, he added. And I don't think you want to hurt anyone either. The alien girl swallowed. Everyone says that at first, she replied. Then they see what I am. Aaron nodded slowly. Then let me see. Her hands trembled. You already know. I know what the files say, he corrected. I don't know you. That seemed to surprise her more than anything else. She took another step forward. The lights flickered slightly, and somewhere above them, a system beeped in warning. Aaron didn't move. She stopped and looked at him sharply. "Why don't you fear me?" she asked. The question came out sudden and sharp, like it had been waiting too long to be spoken. It echoed through the corridor. Aaron looked up at her face. Not at the energy, not at the warning lights, just her. "Because you're scared," he said simply. Her breath caught. "I am dangerous." "You might be," Aaron replied honestly. "But being dangerous isn't the same as being cruel." The alien girl's eyes widened. No one had ever said that to her before. "I didn't mean to come here," she said quietly. "My ship broke. I hid. They always chase me." "Art." Aaron nodded again. "People fear what they don't understand." "You understand?" she asked. "No," he said. "But I want to." That answer stunned her more than anger ever could. She lowered her arms slightly, just enough for Aaron to see how tightly she had been holding herself together. The energy around her softened. Behind the walls, the station crew watched through cameras. They did not speak. They did not move. No alarms blared. No weapons fired. A human sat on the floor, speaking to a being everyone else feared. The alien girl took one careful step closer. "You're not running," she said. "I'm tired of running," Aaron replied quietly. "I think you might be too." Her eyes filled with something that looked dangerously close to hope. The lights steadied. The alarms faded. And for the first time since she had been alone among the stars, the alien girl did not feel like a monster. Not yet safe. Not yet free. But not alone. Aaron stayed seated for a long time. Even after the alien girl relaxed her stance. He knew sudden movements could break the fragile calm between them. The station crew watched silently from behind walls and screens, holding their breath. The alien girl finally spoke again, her voice softer now. "My name is Lyra," she said. "I don't use it often." Aaron gave a small smile. "It's good to meet you, Lyra." "I'm Aaron." She tested his name carefully, as if tasting a new idea. "Aaron." He nodded. "That's me." Lyra glanced at the ceiling lights, then back at him. "They are watching," she said. "They are," Aaron admitted, "but they're listening too." That made her tense again. The faint energy around her skin shimmered, reacting to her fear. Aaron noticed and lowered his voice. "You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. But you don't have to run either." Lyra looked at the floor. "Running is all I know." Aaron slowly stood up, making sure she could see every movement. He stayed a safe distance away. "Then, maybe," he said gently, "we can just stand still for a while." That idea seemed strange to her. She tilted her head, confused, but she did not move away. The station commander finally broke the silence over the comm. "Cole," the voice said carefully. "Status?" Aaron tapped his wrist once. "No danger," he replied. "She's scared. That's all." There was a pause. "Proceed. Carefully." Aaron turned his attention back to Lyra. "Do you want something to eat or drink? We have options that won't hurt you." Her eyes widened slightly. "You would share food?" "Of course," he said. "Everyone needs it." She hesitated, then nodded once. They moved slowly to a small maintenance room nearby. Aaron let Lyra choose where to sit. She picked a corner near the wall, her back against solid metal, eyes always watching the door. Aaron placed a sealed ration pack on the floor between them and stepped back. "You can check it," he said. "No tricks." Lyra scanned it carefully with her senses. When she found nothing threatening, she opened it and took a cautious bite. Her shoulders relaxed just a little. "This is warm," she said quietly. Aaron smiled. "Warm is good." As she ate, she began to speak more. Not all at once, but in pieces. She told him about her people, how their abilities developed young, and often without control. How accidents happened, how fear followed. "They said we were unstable," Lyra said. "So they isolated us. Then others feared us too." Aaron listened without interrupting. "My ship was part of an evacuation," she continued. "There was panic. Systems failed. I escaped, but no one came back for me." Her voice did not shake now. It sounded tired. "They always think I will hurt them," she said. even when I try not to. Aaron met her gaze. Humans had the same problem once. She looked surprised. You? Long ago, he said. We feared ourselves too. Our strength. Our anger. We made mistakes. Big ones. What changed? She asked. Aaron thought for a moment. We learned responsibility. And empathy. Not all at once. Slowly. Lyra absorbed that in silence. Elsewhere on the station, crew members argued quietly. Some demanded containment. Others questioned the threat level. For the first time, doubt entered their fear. She's just a girl, one officer whispered. Aaron stayed with Lyra as the hours passed. He showed her simple station systems, explained how the lights worked, how the power flowed. She listened closely, fascinated. You fix broken things, she said. Yes, Aaron replied. Machines. Sometimes people. She looked at her hands. Can you fix me? Aaron answered honestly. I don't think you're broken. That answer made her eyes sting. She turned away quickly, embarrassed by the emotion. Later, a warning alert sounded through the station. A long-range scan picked up unfamiliar signals nearby. Lyra stiffened instantly. They found me. Aaron stood up. Who? Those who hunt us, she said. They say they want control. Fear returned to the station, but this time it felt different. Not sharp panic, but uneasy resolve. Command called for emergency readiness. Lyra backed toward the wall, breathing faster. The energy around her surged. Lights flickering again. Aaron stepped closer, careful but firm. She struggled to focus. I can't stay. I will endanger you. You don't know that, he said calmly. I do, she insisted. It always happens. Aaron placed a hand over his own chest. I choose to stay. That's my decision. She stared at him. Why? Because fear doesn't get to decide everything, he said. The signals grew closer, but no attack came. Instead, a communication request appeared on the station's main channel. The voice that spoke was smooth and cold. We know you are sheltering a HFY subject. Surrender her, and we will leave peacefully. Lyra shook her head. They will take me apart, she whispered. Aaron turned to the camera. No, he said simply. Silence followed. The voice returned, sharper now. You are risking your station, Aaron replied without raising his voice. We are protecting someone. That word echoed through the command deck. Protecting. The transmission cut abruptly. Hours passed with no movement. Then the signals retreated. Relief washed through the station like fresh air. Lyra sank to the floor, exhausted. The energy around her faded to a faint glow. They left, she said in disbelief. They did, Aaron confirmed. She looked up at him slowly. You didn't fear them either. No, he said. Same reason. For the first time, Lyra said quietly, someone stayed. Aaron helped her stand. This station isn't much, he said. But you're welcome here. At least for now. Lyra looked around the metal walls, the humming lights, the humans who no longer hid from her. For now, she repeated, and for the first time, she slept without dreaming of running. 2 days passed after the signals vanished, but the station never fully relaxed. Crew members spoke in low voices. Sensors were checked again and again. No one said it out loud, but everyone felt it. The hunters would return. Lyra sensed it too. She moved less now, staying near the inner corridors where the metal was thickest. Her energy stayed calm most of the time. But small waves appeared when her thoughts darkened. Aaron noticed everything. He did not push her. He worked nearby, fixing panels, adjusting systems, staying visible. When Lyra spoke, he listened. When she stayed silent, he respected it. One cycle, as the station lights dimmed for rest hours, Lyra finally broke the quiet. They will not give up, she said. They never do, Aaron nodded. Then we prepare. She looked at him sharply. You still think I can stay? I think, he said slowly, that running hasn't kept you safe yet. That was true, and they both knew it. The next alert came suddenly. Long-range sensors detected multiple ships exiting warp near the station. Not attacking, not hiding, just waiting. The command deck filled with tension. "They're forming a perimeter," an officer reported. Lyra felt it instantly. The energy around her surged, lights flickering across the station. She dropped to her knees, hands pressed against her head. "They are here for me," she said, breath shaking. "I can feel their intent." Aaron moved to her side. "Look at me." She tried, but fear pulled her focus away. "If I lose control," she whispered, "people will get hurt." Aaron spoke clearly, steady and firm. "Then we help you keep control." The station commander hesitated. "Cole, are you sure?" Aaron looked up. "She doesn't need fear. She needs trust." Silence followed. Then, slowly, the commander nodded. "We will follow your lead." RD, that was the moment everything changed. Instead of locking Lyra away, the crew adjusted the station systems to support her. Power flow was stabilized. Lights were softened. Noise was reduced. Aaron stayed with her in the central chamber, where the station's core energy flowed smoothly. "Sit," he said gently. Lyra obeyed, still shaking. "Breathe with me," he continued. Slow. She tried, failed, tried again. "They taught us to suppress," she said, "never to understand." Aaron shook his head. "Humans learned something the hard way. Suppressing fear makes it stronger." Quote. Outside, the unknown ships sent a new transmission. "This is your final warning," the voice said. "Release the subject." The commander muted the channel. Aaron leaned closer to Lyra. "You don't owe them anything. They will take you instead," she said, eyes wide. "You do not know what they do to humans." Aaron smiled faintly. "I know what fear does, and I choose not to let it win." The ships began to move closer. No attack came. Instead, they released drones, scanning, probing. Lyra gasped. The energy around her surged violently. Panels rattled. Warning alarms began to sound. Aaron placed his hands flat on the floor, grounding himself. "Lyra," he said. "Listen to my voice." She cried out softly. "I don't know how to stop it." "Yes, you do," he replied. "You've been stopping it your whole life." That made her pause. "You survived alone," he continued. "You controlled yourself without guidance. This is not new. You are stronger than they told you." Her breathing slowed. The drones reached the outer hull. The crew braced, but instead of panic, something else filled the station. Determination. Engineering teams reinforced systems. Medics stood ready. No one ran. Lyra felt it. Humans did not scatter. They stayed. "Why?" she whispered. Aaron answered without looking away. "Because we decided you matter." The energy shifted. Instead of bursting outward, it folded inward, condensing around Lyra like a shield. The lights steadied. Alarms quieted. The drones paused, confused by the sudden stability. Lyra opened her eyes. "I can feel it," she said in awe. "I am not losing control." Aaron nodded. "You never were." The ships outside adjusted formation. Their commander sent another message, anger breaking through calm. "This is illogical. The subject is unstable." Aaron responded over open channel. "No. You are afraid of what you cannot command." The words carried far beyond the station. Lyra stood slowly. The energy around her glowed softly now. Controlled. Focused. She raised one hand, not in anger, but in warning. The drones shut down mid-flight. The ships hesitated. "They feel it," Lyra said. "They do not understand it." Aaron looked at the main screen. "Then show them." She closed her eyes and projected not power, but intent. Calm. Boundaries. Resolve. The signal reached the ships. For the first time, they backed away. The perimeter broke. Cheers filled the command deck, but Aaron raised a hand. "Not yet." Moments later, the ships jumped away, leaving empty space behind. Silence followed. Lyra sank to the floor, exhausted but whole. "I did it," she whispered. Aaron knelt beside her. You did. Around them, humans looked at her with something new in their eyes. Not fear, respect. Later, as systems returned to normal, the commander approached. She can't stay hidden forever, he said carefully. Aaron nodded. No, but she doesn't have to be alone either. Lyra listened quietly. There are places, the commander continued, where cooperation matters more than fear. Lyra looked at Aaron. You would come? He smiled. If you want me to. She nodded once. The station lights dimmed to calm white. For the first time, Lyra did not feel hunted. She felt seen, and somewhere deep inside her, a truth settled in. Fear had shaped her past. Trust would shape her future. The station returned to its normal rhythm. But nothing truly felt normal anymore. The corridors were quieter, yet warmer. Crew members no longer avoided the central chamber. They passed Lyra with careful respect, not fear. Some nodded. A few even smiled. Lyra noticed everything. She walked beside Aaron as he checked the station systems one last time. Her steps were steady now. The energy around her stayed calm, like a river that finally knew its own path. They look at me differently, she said softly. They learned, Aaron replied. Sometimes that takes a moment. The station commander called a full assembly later that cycle. Humans gathered in the main hall, unsure what would be said. Lyra stood near the back, ready to leave if needed. She did not want to force her presence on anyone. Aaron noticed and moved beside her. You don't have to hide, he said quietly. Before she could answer, the commander spoke. We have received a formal notice, he announced. The group that pursued Lyra has withdrawn their claim. Murmurs filled the room. They have also issued a warning, he continued. They say humans interfere where we should not. The commander paused, then smiled faintly. I consider that a compliment. A soft ripple of agreement moved through the crew. The commander turned toward Lyra. You are not a subject here. You are a guest. And if you choose, an ally. The room was silent. Lyra stepped forward slowly. Her voice was steady, though emotion pressed behind it. I do not want to bring danger to you, she said. But I will not run anymore. No one objected. In the days that followed, messages began to arrive from nearby systems. Word had spread. A feared Kavari had stood openly beside humans, and humans had stood with her. Some were curious, others were cautious. None were hostile. A small diplomatic vessel arrived first, then another. Observers wanted to understand what had changed. Aaron watched from the observation deck as ships drifted into range. You're starting something bigger than this station, he said. Lyra looked at the stars. So are you. The first meeting was simple. No grand speeches, no threats. Lyra spoke calmly about her people, about fear, about control and choice. Aaron spoke about humans, about mistakes, about learning. It was not power that impressed the visitors, it was restraint. One delegate asked the question that mattered most. Why did you trust her? They asked Aaron. He answered honestly. Because fear closes doors. Trust opens them. That answer traveled farther than any signal. Weeks passed. Lyra trained daily, not to increase her abilities, but to understand them. Humans helped design systems that supported her control instead of suppressing it. For the first time in her life, she was not treated as a problem to be solved. She was treated as a person. One quiet cycle, Lyra and Aaron stood near the airlock. A transport ship waited. Engines ready. You don't have to go, Aaron said. I know, Lyra replied. But others like me are still hiding. Aaron nodded. Then they'll need someone brave enough to be seen. She smiled slightly. You taught me that. The station crew gathered to see her off. No fear, no distance, just respect. As the ship departed, a new message spread through nearby systems. A simple one. Humans do not fear what they choose to understand. The message reached far places. Some ignored it, some doubted it, but a few listened. Months later, Aaron stood on a different station, watching a group of mixed species work together. Among them were Kavari, no longer hidden, no longer alone. Lyra stood at the center, calm and confident, guiding others who had once feared themselves. She caught Aaron watching and nodded once. No words were needed. Humanity earned no statues that day. No grand titles. They earned something quieter. Trust. And in a universe shaped by fear, that proved to be the strongest force of all. End of part 4.